serious case of a rising tide of Jew hatred in this country over the last 2 years. Melbourne is now the most unsafe place in Australia to be a Jew. Yesterday, the Executive Council of Australian Jewry released its annual incident report. There have been 1,654 incidents of Jewish hatred against Jews in the last year. While this is a modest decrease on 2024 of about 20%, the figures of the last 2 years and since the Hamas attack on Israel remain unacceptably high and more than triple the 2 years prior to October 7 and more than 5 times the average over the previous 10 years. In the more than 35 years the ECAJ has been monitoring Jew hatred in Australia, we have never seen figures anything like this high. This is an incident report. It only covers activities targeted specifically at Jews. It does not cover anti-Jewish discourse or generic statements. Therefore, it does not cover social media other than direct threats. Incidents have been reported in and spread across all 6 of our categories: abuse, messages, graffiti, posters, vandalism and assault. Apart from the sheer increase in numbers, we identify 3 patterns. First, the geographic breadth of the incidents. Across the country, wherever there are Jews, but particularly in Melbourne. Second, the increasingly violent nature of the incidents. We identified 18 major incidents, including some of the most serious on record. These include fire bombings and vandalism of Jewish synagogues, businesses and homes. It is a particularly concerning trend. Third, there is not one single actor or motive. The extremism of both the far left and far right are equal and significant contributors. We have 2 messages. First, for the Australian public. This is not the Australian way. Our nation prides itself on its fair-mindedness. What happened here a year ago and has been replicated in other anti-Semitic incidents over the last year is as alien to our national values as you can get. If you want Australia to remain the friendly, inclusive and welcoming place we all know it to be, then stand with us. Don't leave us behind. Contact your local Jewish synagogue or community and offer your support. Attend our events, try our food, get to know us as Australians and as Jews. Second, we have warned this government for 2 years of the critical importance of responding swiftly and strongly to anti-Jewish hatred and the danger of failing to do so. It gives me no comfort to say that we were right. On 5 July, the government appointed envoy to combat anti-Semitism, Gillian Segal AO, presented her strategic plan. 5 months later, the government has not implemented the plan, has not said what it will do, has not even responded. 5 months. That is simply unacceptable. I call upon the government to provide its response to the strategic plan, particularly its emphasis on education and positivity. In July 2023, the United States Anti-Defamation League formed the J7 Large Communities Task Force to combat anti-Semitism. It comprises the 7 largest diaspora communities in the world, including Australia. I have with me the leadership of the Jewish communities of the US, Canada, Argentina, the UK, France and Germany. Together, we represent over 90% of the international Jewish diaspora community. The J7 have come to this country, to this place, to express their solidarity and their concern. They are all battling the same sickness in their own countries. But they come here because Australia leads the world in the alarming percentage increase in anti-Semitic incidents over the last 2 years. Australia is leading an international race to the bottom. That is not the competition that Australia wants.